We're a few days away from the Proteas World Cup opener. I'm here with our cricket writer Khalid and digital editor Wade. And Khalid, I'm just going to throw the ball immediately to you, and we just want to touch on the Proteas and their World Cup aspirations. Where do you think they stand just a few days away from that first game against England?
So South Africa have been in the preparations right now, and obviously they're trying to get rid of all those stigmas that was always attached with the Proteas. I think they've naturally done it by the squad selection with the youngsters that they have in the squad, with Ngidi and with the likes of Rabada and Aiden Markham. Those youngsters obviously don't have the baggage that Otis was talking about, carrying from the 2015 World Cup when they had that chokers tag against them, the 1999 run out. Everybody was talking about all these previous failures that they had before in other tournaments. So this is a new tournament, fresh team, a young team, and I'm excited for their chances in this World Cup as underdogs.
Well, I think they're riding that underdog tag and are quite happy to have that weight. I don't know where you think they stand going in, because clearly they want to fly under the radar and then try and surprise a few teams. But a massive battle first up against England, one of the favourites, obviously at home.
Yeah, that English game will really put the South African charge into context. We win that, and all of a sudden we're no longer the rank outsiders. We're probably looking at about 5th or 6th in terms of everyone's favourites list. But that England game will really set down a marker. I think this team is better than the bookies will lead us to believe, and we've got a lot of players that are match winners.
Yeah, I think one of the big talking points, and it's not really gone away, has been Umla's form and whether he first of all deserved a spot in that squad, and just how he's going to go at the World Cup. For me, it's a major concern that you're going into warm-up games and he's still needing to prove his form. Yeah. But for me, I pick Umla every day of the week, regardless of whether he's in form or not, because that experience, I think, will be the true test when you're at a World Cup.
Yeah, we had a Puff talking about it actually in his press conference, and he actually spoke about it and said that the warm-ups are important to his form. I mean, picking someone on form so close to the World Cup, to that opening game, is quite shaky. But I mean, we do have a good guy in the ranks there, like Aiden Markham. My major concern actually is not with Aiden or with Amla at the moment. My concerns are with David Miller. He hasn't really showed much form leading up to this, including the IPL. So maybe with their selection, they always spoke about Aiden maybe playing in the number 6 position, number 4 position, number 3 position. Doesn't matter, opening the batting. They said that it doesn't matter where he plays, he can perform. So maybe the surprise drop in that opening game will be David Miller and Aiden Markham coming in at the 6.
No ways. Miller's playing all day. Miller is one of those guys that I rate as an X factor, that he plays well. He does have his limitations too, for sure. But I think Markham will start. I think Miller will start. I think the Proteas, in terms of maybe that test philosophy where they'll play an extra batsman, I don't necessarily agree with it, but I don't think Miller's missing out in that first game. I think he adds a lot in the field, and he's also someone that's racked up some experience over the years. I think Markham will play in the first game, and I think that Amla will play in the first game. And then from there, it's up to him whether he performs or not. I mean, I was one of the guys that said Amla got to be in the squad ahead of Reza Hendricks. No option on that. But now, since that and all the stuff that's gone on off the field, his local T20 failures, I'm now not certain whether Amla is the man for the job, and it's a long tournament. So maybe he sort of plays first, rests again, finds form against some of the minnows, and then who knows where he'll be game 7 and 8.
But I think some people are forgetting with regards to building that team sheet and actually putting that sheet together. There's different types of formations, kind of. Like we use it in football, we have different types of formations that you can play. But it's according to obviously your players that you have in your side. If you look at it and you try to play 7 batsmen, there's not enough bowlers to be able to bowl the full 10 overs. And that's the problem that the Proteas are going to actually have, is that they have to actually, if they're going to play a batting deep lineup, they're going to have to play 2 all-rounders. I don't see them playing 7 batsmen. I don't see JP Duminy bowling 10 overs.
I think that in some games they're going to bowl JP Duminy and hope that he can get through 5-6 overs, and then if he's done reasonably well, they'll dart him for another 2. I think they're going to try and use JP Duminy quite a bit this World Cup. I don't think you'll see Duminy just bowling 3 and getting in and out of the attack. I think that they're going to try and use him quite a bit, especially if Tahir's going well on the other end.
Yeah. We also have Aiden that can bowl a little bit of spin. We both actually took a few wickets, so maybe they're going to balance it in that way. But I do think that...
Remember, they were bowling AB de Villiers in the 2015 World Cup, so who knows what can happen.
Yeah. Let's touch a little bit on that bowling attack, because again, there have been injury clouds around Steyn and obviously Rabada even. Ngidi's had his injury troubles during the course of the year. where do you see that bowling attack going, and with a couple of question marks over who exactly is the best all-rounder to have in the team?
Well, you see, I think now with the injury of Andre Nokia was quite a big blow for Otis Gibson. I think it's a bigger blow than he let off. The guy can bowl 150 plus consistently. I mean, to have a bowler like that is always going to be a wild card. With having Steyn in the team, I think Steyn is probably the major concern with regards to his injuries. Khalid Mohidin apparently is fully fit now. Ngidi is looking much slimmer, much fitter than he has ever done before. He's been putting in a lot of effort in the gym, and it doesn't look like he's been doing weights. It looks like he's been doing a lot of cardio and a lot of strength training with regards to his speed and etc. So I think our bowling attack is looking very dangerous. I think possibly the best bowling attack in this World Cup, me personally. People can compare it to India's one and say maybe India's one is better, or Pakistan. A lot of people rate that bowling attack as well. But
England don't.
I don't rate England's bowling attack at all, to be honest with you. But from an all-rounders perspective, I think our two best all-rounders from consistency, I think it's Dwayne Pretorius and Andile Bekwayo. I think Dwayne Pretorius with his batting ability is actually better than his bowling ability. I have a problem with him bowling 120s, it's a bit too slow. I think he needs to, if he can push it up 128, close to 130 more often, he'll be a much better asset. Andile Bekwayo, obviously with his variations, I think that will bring him in the middle overs to clamp that middle overs. If him and Tahir can bowl that middle overs together, I think a lot of teams are going to struggle to bat against us.
But that's going to be the key to this World Cup, is who's going to be bowling while Tahir's bowling on the other end. Yeah. He does need a certain amount of pressure build up on that side so that he can strike. Because we are looking at Tahir to take a lot of wickets at this World Cup, because that's how our ODI side, and to a lesser extent the T20 side, has been built around Tahir taking lots of wickets. Very nervous about Steyn and his injury concerns, and I hope that Rabada comes out firing, fully fit, and he's done well when being given the task to lead the bowling lineup. So I hope that Faf is brave, picks Rabada as his main gun and says, you go and lead this bowling lineup, you come out, strike early and really set the platform. And if that platform's set, then Tahir will really kick on and do wonders in the middle overs.
But a team like England, normally with Tahir works perfectly in a batting lineup with up to about 6 players, 6 batsmen. He normally operates in that area, and he'll strike and put a lot of pressure on the tail. But with England, the tail runs till number 9. Yeah. So even if he does strike in the middle overs, it's going to be a problem to get those last few batsmen out. That's when our strike bowlers have to be able to be. They have to keep our strike bowlers for later on. Khalid Mohidin especially. Steyn, I don't see him bowling at the latter stages of the game. I see him bowling in the opening 5 overs, having a spell. If he swings the ball up front, it's a lot of reverse swing. I think that's in England. That's going to be key. You're going to pick a team when you have Aiden up. Okay, so you have Quinton de Kock, Amla Said as number 1 and 2. You have Faf du Plessis that comes in number 3. Number 4 will be Rassie van der Dussen, without a doubt in my mind. The guy's been the most consistent Protea player over the last few months. Number 5, you're looking at David Miller coming in number 5. You got number 6, we got JP Dumnie. Definitely, I think the way he's adapted his T20 game into his ODI game is unbelievable. Coming in the back end and performing and playing is unbelievable. Then you've got number 7, you'll have Dwayne Pretorius. Number 8, you'll have Andile Bekwayo. Number 9 will then have to be Khalid Mohidin. Number 10, I feel Ngidi, and then the last is the spinner, which is Tahir.
I just want to throw one other question to you, is that the big problem in past World Cups has been that composure under pressure. How is it going to be different this time? Who's going to have the temperament, or who's going to ensure that? Is it Faf with the leadership? Do you see a different mood in the camp and with the leadership from Otis to ensure that the guys have a different approach and don't get suddenly carried away if there's a bit of pressure applied and they're suddenly in that make or break phase and maybe with some demons going on in the back of the mind?
Yeah, so I'm going to make a few points here that you guys can smash me in the comments about this, but it's just an opinion. From my perspective, I think that Otis is right in saying that baggage is not with the players. In this particular World Cup, there's 8 people I think that are new faces in the squad that don't have the baggage from the past. So to that 2015 team, I wouldn't throw Quinton de Kock into. I'll put that into a new face bracket because he was a young 19-year-old when he was in the last World Cup. I mean, he was still young. He was a prospect. He wasn't one of the guys that we wanted to lean on as the main guy. David de Villiers takes that mantle. Faf du Plessis was there. David Miller was one of those guys that we expected to perform. Amla as well.
JP Dumnie was there.
JP Dumnie was there too. So in this new team, I think there's a new mindset of going out there, enjoying your cricket, playing your brand of cricket, and that baggage is not there. So, and with that core youth is very important. I think having that core youth as well with Andile Pekrekwayo, Aiden Markram and Kagiso Rabada having won a World Cup before. I know it's just on a junior level, but mental-wise, it doesn't change. It doesn't change much after. You still have that working under pressure. I mean, there were some top teams in the under the 19 World Cup that they actually won. So I feel that if they can come together like that and trust the youngsters, I think the respect in the team is unbelievable.
Yeah.
There's a respect for everybody, no matter what your age is. It doesn't matter. So we can see that by Faf actually asking for Quinton de Kock to be his vice captain, a young 26-year-old. So I feel it's a different setup. Yeah.
Let's leave it there. Great. Well, Khalid, you're going to be our man on the ground, so enjoy it, and please keep following SA Cricket Mag to get all the coverage, videos, and written content.
Cool.
Let's
subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm going to have a blog over there as well. I'm going to also keep you guys updated with the daily the tour diaries as well. So subscribe to our channels, like our pages, etc., and you can be right there with me at the World Cup.
Awesome.